Everything changed when war reached the Americas. Caught between the French and the British, my family paid the price. Only
What's up, everybody? My internet totally screwed up your trailer, didn't it?
That's right. I can sing it for you.
So yeah, man, we're here today to talk about War Party. We got Vinny here. What's up, Vinny? How you doing, my man?
Hey, man. Doing good. Dude, your intro is always fucking amazing.
Yeah, a little Smaug action.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. We got Professor Murph with us. What's up, man? How are you doing?
Doing great. Had a great last couple of weeks. Things really picked up.
Awesome, man. We'll tell you what. Why don't you tell us all about War Party, what we're getting into, what we're dealing with. I think I got an idea from the trailer. I don't know about the rest. I'll play it again shortly. But yeah, just maybe tell us what this is all about.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it's the only mini-series in Comicscape. I could be wrong, but it's a complete, 6 issues, so you get all 6 together. Just to clear up any confusion, they're not shipped separately. They're all shipped all at once. So rather than getting, one big, long 140-page graphic novel, you're getting 6 different issues. And it's basically Last of the Mohicans meets Altered Beast, with a little bit of Taken mixed in there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you got me already.
Yeah, the lead character's daughter, because this happened a lot in the French and Indian War. They'd go in and just wipe out whole settlements, both sides, French and the British sometimes. But sometimes they'd take the children captive and the women if they didn't kill them. They'd take them captive and sell them to the other side. So they take his little 8-year-old daughter. Everybody else is dead. They kill his wife. They kill everybody. And he's trying to get his daughter back. So he enlists the help of that shaman you see there in the middle of that shot there, the female shaman. She has the powers of transformation, and she's a skinwalker. And they kind of have a past. She knew him when he was younger, and he saved her life. So she kind of owes him one. And convinces her father, the chief, to allow them to take these pelts and transform into the War Party. And it basically matches your spirit animal. So whatever your spirit animal is, she finds out what it is. If it's a gator or a wolf or a bear, and that's what you're able to transform into with her magical help. So that's the gist of it. Yeah. But I put it in the past because I like things that happen. I always like to put things in the past. I find it more dramatically interesting, honestly, because it's such a different world.
Yeah, definitely can be. I want to say hello to the chat. We got What About was here early. He says, War. What's up, man? Good to see you. Wookiee Supremacy's in the house. How you doing, my man?
Oh, Wookiee.
Yeah, Wookiee's an awesome dude. Awesome dude.
Absolutely.
Mandible Smasher is here. How's it going? Planet Tobor TV's in the house. What's up, man? Good to see you.
Yeah, brother.
Hail Mandible. Mandible's one of my backers, I think.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Peter Charon's in the chat as well. Peter Charon is an awesome backer, man. He's a wonderful supporter of all these projects.
Amazing dude.
Love you guys. Thanks for coming. So what inspired you to do this? Is it just a story you've had for a long time, or something that just you got hit with inspiration one day?
Well, I mean, I always did historical comics. I've been publishing since '92, but I always did Civil War comics because I love the Civil War and American history. I've always loved monsters as a kid, but I never did any sort of fantasy or monster comics. So the two just kind of collided with this. I said, why not do something a little fun instead of having to, be so historically accurate with everything? Why not take something historical and just go wild with it and do a sort of horror adventure fantasy? And I remember seeing Last of the Mohicans in the movie theater. I still think it's one of the best movies I've ever seen, the Michael Mann film in 1992 with Daniel Day-Lewis. it's just such a great movie. It just captures that, you know, that wild kind of period in American history. So
Yeah.
what better place to put than pre-colonial America, where there's no rules, everybody's running around, you got these armies fighting all over the continent. It just works.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Man. Historical fiction is awesome. If you have a mind for that sort of thing. See, I'm kind of a history tard, so that doesn't work out well for me. That's why I write complete fantasy. But yeah, man, if you got the mind for it, that's some really interesting stuff.
Yeah, I'm always into like uniforms and accuracy. Like one of my favorite comics was, which is why I got Michael Golden to do a cover. It was the Nom. Growing up reading the Nom, and Michael Golden, you know, even though he has a cartoony style, he was really big on accuracy, getting the Hueys correct, the M14, the M16, the M60. Everything in this comic would be accurate, down to the pockets on the uniforms. And I always loved that attention to detail. So, you know, I try to keep it as accurate as possible with regards to that. Obviously, throwing werewolves in there.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
For sure.
Got to be accurate about the shapeshifters too, right?
Oh yeah. Got Edwin Yates in the house. What's up, man? Good to see you too. So do these guys like when they're their totem animal? Is it reflected in their personality?
Somewhat. Like the reason why I don't want to give too much away, but when he spares her life when he's younger, he's a hunter. So you know he always gets his prey kind of thing. So the wolf made sense for him, and obviously the werewolf's kind of like the main chief sort of character in most of these type of stories. So it just made sense to sort of have my lead guy be a wolf. But like the guy who becomes a gator, he's kind of a slimy kind of dude. So I was like, yeah, it makes sense. He'd be a reptile. You know, he's kind of got a little bit because he's basically they meet him. He's a British soldier who is basically scheduled to be executed. He had an affair with the lieutenant colonel's wife and got caught. And so he was going to be executed. The Jaguar is a French soldier who was basically a double agent for the French and the British. He was going back and forth, changing sides for money. So he was going to be executed as well. And he speaks very little English, but he's good friends with the British soldier. And then the other three are brothers, and they're the ones whose niece or daughter, you know, one of them's daughter, the other's niece, has been kidnapped. So the three brothers team up with the sort of the rascal British soldier and the Frenchman who speaks very little English. And it's just sort of like this motley crew of guys basically team up to go save his daughter. And of course they get caught between the French and the British. Both sides turn against them when they find out what they are. And what's cool, I try to do something different here with the transformation. You see they have to wear a pelt, and the pelt basically comes alive and attacks you. It consumes your body and penetrates you. It's a very painful process. But that's how they turn into it. They merge with the pelt, and it's kind of based on the whole skinwalker legend, that, you know, Native American legend of warriors wearing the skins of animals when they go into combat.
Right.
That is awesome.
Yeah, that is
Nice.
That's pretty sweet.
I like that. And I was a huge fan of Altered Beast too. So
Yeah, great game.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, this definitely it hits those notes.
Yeah, and my colorist is James Brown, or he goes by Jay Brown. But he did a book with me, graphic novel with me back in 2008 called Claiborne. It's on Amazon. But so I've been working with him for years. He works for IDW. He does G.I. Joe. He worked for Marvel for years. But it's just me and him. I do everything but the colors, all the writing, all the art and lettering and everything. And I pay him to do colors, and we're just a two-man team.
Very
Nice.
cool.
Yeah, that was actually my next question.
I've done a few of these. Let me guess. Your next question is going to be no. That's the only original piece, by the way. I work completely digital. Other than the poster you see me holding there, that's the only original piece of artwork that I produced for this. Everything else is drawn on the computer. I'm drawing on that thing right there.
So what's your program of choice?
Clip Studio.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Or Manga. It used to be Manga Studio.
Right.
Same thing. I love the brushes and the way it works.
That's cool. I just downloaded it, so I gotta take some time to learn it.
Yeah, I mean you can ink in Photoshop too. It's just I do my pencils honestly in Photoshop because I'm just used to Photoshop. But then when I do my inking, I bring it over to Clip Studio.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very smooth from what I I messed around with a
It's
little bit.
smooth. It's fast. For me, I can't speak for other artists, but it's faster to ink digitally, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like that would not have taken. That probably would have taken half the time what you see me holding there if I had
Right.
inked that on the computer, and it would have looked just as good. I mean, I don't think it's any less. There's any less quality at all.
Right.
It's just getting used to the tool, you know.
I hear you. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. I like your choice of animals too.
Well, those aren't the only choices. Like, I don't want to give too much away, but by the end of the last issue, there's a big battle, and you're going to see a lot more animals coming out of the woodwork. Things you never thought you'd see. Like, oh, really? That? You know, a raccoon? Really? Okay. So, hey, you can't pick your spirit animal.
As long as there's no roaming run from this.
Well, what I think.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
There's no werewolves.
Yeah. Well, that's what I thought would be funny is what if your spirit animal was on another continent? Like, what if it was a kangaroo? What do you do then? It's like they don't even know what it is. She's like, this strange animal I've never seen before. Hops around on two legs. But yeah, I mean, it's nonsensical fantasy. I know, you got to suspend disbelief, but it's all in fun.
Yeah, of course.
And it's just good old fashioned. I grew up in comics in the mid to late 80s. I'm more of an 80s comic kid, honestly, than a 90s comic kid. I know everybody talks about the 90s. For me, it was the late 80s. It was, G.I. Joe with Michael Golden. It was Savage Sword of Conan. Loved this book.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'll hold it up again. Yeah, and it was black and white for those that don't remember, and very violent. You could get stuff in this comic that you would not get in other other comic books. Of course, looks what's on the back, the nom. So yeah. So so I'm really it's more of a throwback to late 80s comics when things like Killing Joke was coming out, and Batman was in the movie theaters, and that's my era. The Jim Shooter Marvel era is the era of comics that I loved the most.
Yeah. Jim Shooter was, he's responsible for all the best comics, if you ask me.
Yeah. The 90s, I mean, it was great. The 90s pushed the envelope and took art really extreme, but honestly, there aren't very many stories that came out of the 90s that I think lasted like the ones that came out of the 80s, in my opinion. Yep. And so I think the 90s are a little overrated, but I mean, that's when I launched, when I first got into comics, I was 17, and you could put a number 1 on anything and it would sell. Right. It didn't matter what it was. If it said number 1, people were lining up to buy it.
Oh yeah.
So there'll never be an era like that again.
Yeah. Nope. That was back when number 1 actually meant something.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, but you know what? I think with Comicsgate, especially because we're all doing such small print runs. I mean, even Ethan's print run is still relatively small.
Oh yeah.
If any of these things ever take off, get picked up for movies or TV or something bigger, these print runs are going to be valuable because there's not that many of them. So all it takes is one of these IPs to get out there, and you're that whole value thing could come right back really easily. So
yeah, for sure.
That's 100% true, man. Yeah, I wonder how many people really realize that. It's going to be interesting to see how everything goes the next couple of years.
Yeah, because I remember when 30 or 40,000 copies was a small print run.
Yep.
Now that's enormous. I mean, that's gigantic, but it's still not when you think about it in the grand scheme of things.
Of course.
Imagine if there are only 30,000 copies of Walking Dead, or you know what I mean, or
right.
Say there was a Game of Thrones comic and they only did 10,000 copies of issue 1, and Game of Thrones became what Game of Thrones became. Yeah. You could imagine the value of those 10,000 comic books.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, Mike Marop, I hope I'm saying that right in the chat. What's up, man? It says the story sounds interesting. The art looks good. How haven't I heard of this yet? Well, you just have. It's all good.
Because I can't be at more than one place at a time, Mike.
Right.
If I could be on multiple streams simultaneously every night, I'm sure you would have heard about it by now. But honestly, there's a lot of projects right now. It's so crowded. There's so many things. Good projects, too, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, there's at least like 5 or 6 other werewolf books out there right now. All quality, by the way. So, if you're in for some werewolf action, you've got more than enough reading material. Let me tell you. I don't like to call mine a werewolf book because it really isn't. It's a shapeshifter book, or with a werewolf, but it's
Yeah,
not,
okay.
you know, he's just one of many creatures. So I try not to kind of pigeonhole it like that. But
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't, man. I definitely wouldn't, because like you have an interesting spin and take on, like, you know, were creatures, therianthropes, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, well, and what's cool is the campaign was doing so well, I added a secret perk for my backers that it's an additional issue that you can't get on the regular page. You only get the link if you back it. And there's only 250. I'm only going to do 250 copies of it. And it's basically her backstory, Diani, the shaman. It's her backstory. Because she's sort of semi-immortal. I mean, she ages very, very slowly, so she lives for several centuries. And there's a little bit of the Fountain of Youth in there because I live in Florida, and that's a big thing here in St. Augustine. And so there's a little bit of that, a little bit of Ponce de Leon going back to the 1500s. There's a lot sort of to her that you can add to sort of as a supplement to this that makes her a lot more interesting and sort of fleshes out her character more. So, and that's done really well. Adding that secret perk has really taken off with my current backers. But I mean, I knew 10,000 was a big goal since I'd never done a Comicscape project before. And I'm just happy I hit it. It was a long, hard fought battle. Let me tell you, it took me 60 days and I had to hustle. And just for those of you out there that are thinking about doing campaigns, don't give up, because at one point this thing was sitting at $1,500 and did not move. I couldn't get it to move for almost a week. I couldn't get a single backer. And I was like, what is going on? This campaign's dead. I don't understand. No one's backing it. What's happening? And it's just because you got to get out there and hustle. I mean, it's that simple. You got to get out there and talk about it. And
yeah, man.
And I think people need to know the person behind the project, and that scares a lot of artists because they don't want it's just look at my work, buy my work. Well, we don't live in that world anymore. They want to know who you are, and until they know who you are, there's a lot of people that won't back your book, no matter how it looks. So
well, I mean, a big piece of this is trust as well, right? Because it's not a finished product you're buying off of a shelf. It's a promise. You're basically buying a promise, and
exactly.
Yeah, it definitely takes a lot of trust, and it takes. You have to convince people, like, I'm not one of those people. I'm going to deliver. It's all good.
Well, and it's tough. It's tough because you almost have to have a YouTube channel, which I do. I mean, I'm comfortable talking to people because I'm a teacher. I talk to 18, 19, 20-year-olds all the time, in class, and so you have to keep people's attention. I also, I'm an actor. I sing and act on stage and things like that. So I don't have a problem with audiences, but I know a lot of artists. They couldn't do this. Like, they're going to have a problem. Because if they can't get out there and talk about their work, they're going to have trouble winning people over. And I think a lot of pros are not going to do this because they have too much pride. And I mean, I'm talking like some of the Marvel and DC pros that want to come over. They're not going to do this. They're not going to go on small channels and talk about their book and basically beg people to buy their book. They're going to have too much pride for that. So I don't know how they're going to fare if this is the way they have to sell their work, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I've said it for a long time too, because I mean, I did a lot of conventions and stuff, and I saw how they treat people, and there is a big difference between that too. It's not just the pride; it's how their attitudes are, and how they view people, which to me it's been very deplorable how I've seen, because I'm sitting there next to really big names, and I'm drawing a crowd, and they're not. And then, wait, what are you working on? I said, what are you talking about? I'm being respectful towards people, because I seen them talk bad about the customer as soon as they walk away, or they come over. Oh, what are you doing? What you working on? Blah blah blah. And they're not engaging with anyone. They're sitting there with their heads down, either doing their commissions, or they're just very rude. I'm like, I don't understand why they're not acting like people. It's bizarre.
It's actually, this is for the best because they were shielded by the publishers. They knew they were going to get paid no matter what. See, now you have to treat the customer with respect, because if you don't, they're not going to back you. So, and the truth is, you have to humble yourself in this whole thing. Like, my mentality with this is, I'm in service to the reader. They're not in service to me. I'm here to basically give of myself, put my blood and sweat into this thing to give them the best possible book I can, because they're giving me their money, and I like that. I mean, I've always been that way toward readers. I've never, I've always appreciated my readers, but I've never been a huge superstar. I think when you get really big and everybody's coming to you, it's real easy to start kind of buying your own press and becoming egotistical and thinking you're so great.
Yep.
And
that's what I've seen from a lot of them. It's crazy, but yeah, it's just treat people well and things will be all right. If you don't, you're gonna fail.
Yeah, and I think that's the way it should be. I think it's great. So, and the thing is, I've found that especially comics gators, once they back you, they are so loyal. Like they'll promote you, they'll talk about it to they'll retweet you, and it's like they're rooting for you. It's really cool to see what's happened because we're all sort of in friendly competition with each other's books, but at the same time, we're all pushing each other's books and helping promote each other, and in many cases, backing each other's books. I've backed a ton of books.
Oh, same here, man.
Yeah, and it's just such an interesting sort of thing that's happened. I don't think anything like this has happened since Image in '92, really, in comics. This is the biggest thing since then.
Well, yeah, I'd say it's different from what Image was because a lot of those guys, like, they did hurt each other too. Right. Over here, I mean, for the most part, I'm going to say, because I know everyone has their own little cliques and stuff too, but for the most part, we're all trying to help each other. I know, like, I brought my my printer pretty much over here. Like, I was the only guy who was really using this one printer, and I was letting everyone know about it. I'm like, the quality is just through the roof. If you guys want it, let me know, whatever. And and that's it. If you help each other like that to get better product out there, to get the quality up there, I think this whole movement is going to go the direction it needs to, which is up.
Yeah,
as long as we keep it cooperative, and we got a lot of awesome backers and promoters in the chat. Christine Venner's here; she's awesome.
Christine,
hell yeah,
a lot of projects.
My favorite backer.
This is the first time awesome. Apollo Patriot has ever entered my chat without saying "Hail Greek mythology" and talking about Blue Twilight women. Frog G, another great promoter,
another
great backer, always out there doing his thing. Edwin as well, man. Like a lot of awesome people. It's a super cooperative community and totally decent people in it.
And I'd like to point out something interesting that happened in this story. And those you guys are right, you know what I'm talking about. When you'll write a story and you think you know who the main character is, and all of a sudden it changes, and you realize no, that's not the main character. This person's. That's kind of what happened with my shaman girl. Originally, she was just going to be a supporting character in this story that gave them the ability to do this, and the main character were the five guys that were out to rescue, and they are the main characters. But it almost started to become kind of like Quantum Leap, where you have Scott Bakula's character would show up in a different episode, and even though he was the through line in the series, he was the main character. Yeah, wherever he was, it became that story. You know what I mean? Like that, those people, it was their story. And that's what I find is happening with her, which I got really excited about, because then I thought, man, I could take her through all sorts of periods of American history after this, and she can build different war parties for different purposes throughout history. Because she ages, she's kind of like Wolverine. She ages very slowly.
Right. So she's almost like a Merlin type character in
Yes.
She's like there for all the different eras.
Right. She's a wizard or a witch or whatever you want, shaman, and so. It gives me a lot of storytelling opportunities beyond just the 1750s, and you can see her grow. And so it kind of became. I didn't set out to have my lead character be a female. That just happened. But see, that's how it's supposed to happen.
Exactly.
You don't go, it's got to be a woman of color. Okay, she must be. That's not.
Check.
It's right. It happened ironically, and here I am like. My lead character is a Native American woman, but I didn't set out to do that. That's just the story told me that's what it needed to be, and that's just kind of how it happened.
Those are the best stories, man. These the stories that just come to you and flow naturally. You can't fight it because when you fight it, you end up with garbage like is out there now.
But here's the problem. I'm a white male. I can't write Native American women. I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed to.
That is a problem.
I'm not allowed to.
Problematic, if you will.
Yeah. So I don't know how to handle that. I'm also never been a Frenchman, so I can't write the French guy either.
No, I'm betting you're not a werewolf either.
No, I've never been a werewolf, so I can't write. How am I going to do this? What am I going to do?
Look at this guy just writing all this stuff that he has no idea what.
Yeah, I have to write. I do have Cherokee ancestry, so that counts a little bit. But I'm a Southerner writing about guys in Ohio, so I'm not a Yankee. I'm a rebel, so I can't write about Yankees either. So I'm in trouble, man. I don't know what to do because
nobody wants to know your white male experience, man. Speaking of white male experience, Al Gargoyle's in the chat. What's up, man? Wolverine's here as well. How's it going, my man? Good to see you. Yeah, we're just talking about War Party. We're talking about shared experiences, how white men should not be writing
anything.
Bullshit. How white men should write whatever they want. Anyone should write whatever they want. Oh man, this is a killer shot.
Thanks.
Love this,
yeah, that's a battle scene where they're charging. Yeah, they grow about twice the size of a human being, as you saw in that last picture. They get about 10 feet tall, so they're pretty huge. Pretty strong, not impervious to harm, but heal very fast. I mean, you get hit with a musket ball, it's going to do some damage, just not nearly as much as it would do to a human being. So they're not invincible, but they're incredibly powerful, which is why the French and the British have to call a temporary truce out there, the two armies that are fighting each other, to gang up and try to wipe these guys out.
Well, historically, wouldn't the French just surrender when they saw this coming at them?
Believe it or not, the French used to be able to fight. You've heard of Napoleon, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they used to be able. They were pretty tough back then. I don't know what happened, but they did tend to have a better relationship with the natives than the British did. They weren't as heavy-handed as the British because they were really more interested in trading, whereas the British were more interested in land. So they tended to have more native allies, even though there were obviously tribes that sided with the British as well. So it was a civil war kind of going on between native tribes at the time as well on both sides. It's a great backdrop for something like this because there's no rules. There's no cell phones. Yeah. There's no GPS. Something could happen out in the Ohio wilderness that somebody in New York would never hear about. You know what I mean? Like there were so many. I've read so many books on it that it's stuff that'll just curl your hair. Like it's horrible stuff. People being burned alive. Scalping babies. I'm not kidding. Like scalping babies.
People were pretty
it was
terrible.
Nasty. Yeah, I'm like. So it's just I needed a savage backdrop for this to sort of fit the way I wanted it to, and you can't get more savage than pre-colonial or pre-revolution America.
Yeah, man. Christine says, I guess you need to hire ghostwriters for every single character that isn't a Southern one.
Exactly. And there's not one in here, so I guess I can't write any of it. I'll just draw it.
Well, damn. I guess you're just gonna have to put out the money. You gotta hire some woke writers.
Christine's in the UK, so I'm sure she could find me some British writers to write all of the British characters.
Oh yeah. Wolverine says, "What happens in?"
Yeah, exactly. That'd make a good T-shirt.
It would.
Yeah. War Party. Whatever happens in BFE Ohio stays. I like that.
Well, speaking of bad writing and shitty comic books, have you seen this? By chance,
I just saw someone did a video. Was it your boy Zach? Someone did a video on this today. I didn't watch the video, but I saw the little thumbnail with that image in it.
What the hell is that?
Well, naturally, Bleeding Cool's very excited about it. It's called "I'm Not Starfire." This is about Starfire's niece, I think, gay goth niece.
Why do they all have to be 100 pounds overweight in A cups? I don't understand.
Well, I'll tell you why. Because this is the writer of the book. Oh. This is called a self-insert.
Whoa. Ren let herself go again?
Yeah. This woman's 45 years old and still trying to be hip.
Hip and with it.
Yeah. Check this out. See,
she has a good life.
It's funny because when I see that image, I'm like, yeah, I would guess she's into comic books. Totally. Like, when did this become the comic book audience, the comic book creator? When did this happen? What, 5 years ago, 6 years ago?
I've
been out of it.
I think it was encroaching before that, but yeah, it really started to come to fruition about that time.
Because I've been out of it since 2010. That's the last time I published anything. So I've been out of it for 10 years. I went on to animation.
Yeah.
I gave up on comics. I was like, I could see the writing on the wall back in 2010. I was like, I don't like where I see this going. You know, you can't make any money with Diamond. The discounts are too high. You can't do the numbers. And honestly, it wasn't until I started following Ethan and your boy Zach a couple years ago and seeing what was happening. I thought, okay, there is an audience for comics. It's just the way we get comics to the audience has changed. Yep. And now you get to keep all the money. You know, you don't have to give Diamond 60% of your cover price.
Right.
Exactly.
So that got me back in because it made business sense, number one. But number two, it's the most cost-effective way to tell a visual story. Because I work in animation, and you want to talk about expensive? It's hand-drawn, by the way. Yep. You're talking six figures, multiple six figures to get a movie done of any quality. Whereas with a comic, in a couple pages, I can get a couple pages done in a couple days, and the amount of story I can tell in 2 pages versus that same amount of story in animation would take months to tell, to produce, you see? So it just, to me, it made sense. But I needed a reason. I needed to know there was an audience for it. So,
right. Yeah, well, there certainly is. And a lot of them are in here. Johnny Cage is in the house. What's up, man? How you doing, brother? I keep seeing Johnny Cage posting his art on Instagram. And I keep wondering, when are you going to do a book, man? You really should.
Yeah, that's nice.
Power Riders here as well. Good to see you, my man. He says, hail hookers.
Hail, brother. He's awesome. These guys, everyone in chat, I mean, everybody is really, like Red said earlier, they latch on to what we're doing. They enjoy it. They support us. And they're super talented themselves. You know, we're seeing it more and more. And it's awesome because, soon I'm sure more and more guys and girls are going to be getting their projects out there, from sitting in the chat to being creators. I mean, and that is a cool thing.
Yeah, I was considering something. I could run it past you guys right now. I was considering, it's going to double my shipping cost, but I wonder if it would be worth it. Shipping my first 3 issues early, printing them and shipping them, and then shipping my last 3 issues on my fulfillment date. Reason why is because I'm wondering if it would actually benefit my in-demand portion of the campaign to already have some of the books out there. I don't know. Your thoughts? You think it would be worth it to spend that on postage? You think the payoff would make it worth that or no?
I think you could hurt yourself real bad like that.
You think?
Yeah, shipping it can get you. I know what some people doing, like Adam Lawson, I believe. He puts out digital, send some digital early,
right.
And so people can kind of review it and do that kind of thing. So that might be something you want to consider. Yeah, double postage is going to kill you, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've already done the numbers. It's doable. It's just because they're floppies. Keep in mind, I'm not shipping big, heavy graphic novels. But
right.
But at the same time, I was wondering. I was curious to know. The sooner you're able to get some of the product in their hands, sometimes I think, because the first 3 issues are done, they're ready to go. The only reason why my fulfillment date is next June is because I've still got to finish 5 and 6. But 1 through 4 are ready. So 3 books at a time. Sketch. Yeah, that's okay. Sketch therapy advisor. Well, sketch therapy advised against it. I need to take his advice.
The difference is it's not 3 different books with different artists and writers involved.
Right.
It's all part of the same series, and
exactly.
This is his stuff.
Right. What it would be, Sketch, is they would be getting issues 1 through 3 floppies, all 3 shipped together in one shipment, and then issues 4, 5, and 6 on the fulfillment date, rather than having to wait for the fulfillment date for 1 through 6. That was what I was talking about, splitting into the 2 halves, just so that the backers would get some of their books early. But Christine says she'd rather wait. Nobody wants me to go broke. That's what.
You don't want to hurt yourself. 1 and 2. Yeah, it's easier just to fulfill all in one shot.
Yeah, and it's already one campaign. I'll go too late.
Right.
All right. Well, if Sketch and Christine both are say no, then I got it. What is this abomination? Yeah,
Yeah, maybe you'd prefer this.
yeah. It's funny. She looks like Anne Rice's evil twin.
Oh yeah.
Who ate the other twin?
Sorry, yeah, we'll get this off the screen. We'll get back to one part.
Get out of
That's
that.
something a little bit more visually appealing up here.
Yeah. I tried not to make Dione look like that. I wanted her to be appealing to the male gaze, and
But you didn't find some homely straight lady that thought she was a shaman, and you didn't want to tell her life experience. You didn't want to insert her in your comic.
But you know what's strange is even women like to look at beautiful women.
Of course.
Yes, they do.
Women don't want to look at that. Men or women. No one wants to look at that.
I know. Like,
I
did
know-
you
I
see
know.
like the 5 o'clock shadow on that one? I mean, it's very unappealing. You want that stuff, but again, you're talking to the fulfillment king, the ass master, and I can tell you right now, fulfill all in one shot. More hot chicks is always a good thing. That's my stamp of approval.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, I'm all for the toxic masculinity. This was a toxically masculine era, let me tell you what.
Yeah, well, here's the thing.
And
Like
it wasn't
you
just
said, though.
Europeans either. The Native Americans were pretty toxically masculine, let me tell you.
Right, and that's the cool thing about the period pieces. You could do that kind of stuff, and it's going to work and make sense. I mean, you guys know I'm working on the pirate book, and it's the same thing. Like, no one is being a delicate flower in that time period. You know what I mean? You got to be tough to survive. You got to, they do what they have to do. There's going to be sexiness here and there, but it's just how it was back then.
Vinny, did you grow up in Brooklyn?
Queens.
Queens. Okay. I think I said this one time in a chat. You remind me of Paul Stanley when you talk. The lead singer of Kiss.
Yeah, I'm actually friends with his wife.
You are. Well, you have a similar accent. I mean, did he grow up in Queens too? I know he's a New Yorker. I didn't know.
I know he's a New Yorker, but
I'm
I'm
not
not
sure.
that sure. I wasn't a huge fan of Kiss, ironically.
Yeah, I'm not trying to insult you. I'm just saying that every once in a while, because I've heard him in so many interviews. That was every once in a while I get a Paul Stanley vibe. I'm like, yeah, it's like, yeah, that's what it reminds me of.
I'm picking up on something here. Vinny often says, "Yeah, I'm friends with his wife." I hear that a lot, Vinny.
Yeah,
Mind
Vinny.
your business, son. Mind your
There's
business.
a reason why he won't show his face.
No, I always show my face on my channel. Like I said, usually when I'm a guest somewhere else, I'm working.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I've never
it's easier
seen
that. Yeah, it's easier that way on my computer.
So you don't have long black hair like Paul Stanley did,
No, I got short hair.
and you don't have a hairy chest either, right?
I'm Italian.
That's weird.
Pleads the fifth. Yeah, Sketch is right, man. You definitely don't want anybody to fail. That's always better to underpromise and overdeliver. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I just hold off, man. Don't hurt yourself. I know it might not seem like that much, but I would.
Okay. Yeah,
I'd
it was just a
chill
thought.
with it.
I wanted to get some input, feedback on it. I was toying with the idea, but okay. We'll wait.
Well, it's a good thought. That means you want to please your backers, obviously, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
But I mean, like Christine said and Sketch said, like these are the backers, and they would prefer to just wait because nobody wants to see any creator, let alone a first time creator, go into put out more than they have to, because I think they understand that any excess we have on these campaigns goes right into the next campaign, so that just means faster books,
Yeah,
get
we
the
sure
ball
as heck don't get paid. Let me tell you guys, unless you're doing a 6-figure campaign,
Mhm.
it's all the money goes out to the team, the creative team, or the printing, or the shipping.
Yep.
And that's fine. I'm a full-time professor. I have a job, so I'd like to make money at this eventually. We all would, but
Mhm.
usually out of the gate, you're just trying to build an IP and build an audience. You're just hitting on.
What can I say? People like me.
Yeah. I know. If somebody pops in on the chat, and they're like, I popped in on Red Gaze's chat, and they were talking about Vinny's chest hair. What is going on in Comicscape?
Listen, that's not unusual to pop into this chat and hear something like that.
True.
What's up,
Especially
Joaquin? Good to see
Apollo's in the crowd. He keeps talking about the twerking and spaghetti.
Not today. I'm wondering if Apollo's not feeling well.
I guess not. Maybe because
Yeah,
Lola's
just,
not here.
That could be. Just to wrap this up, this is called I Am Not Starfire. I believe the sequel should be called No Shit.
So what is it about? She's basically dissing Starfire, or is that Starfire's true self? What is this supposed
This
to be?
is more of DC's young adult line, right? A la Gotham High, which did so well.
Okay.
Yeah, she's just an angsty, bitter little fat girl who, I guess, she has this as a role model, and that's obviously not good enough because that's everything you'd want to be, right? So we got to go the complete opposite direction. We just got to be a pudgy little bitter creature from hell.
Yeah, there's got to be a bigger agenda behind this. Are they in league with like the I wouldn't say the diet industry, but maybe like the fast food industry or pharmaceutical medicine, diabetes business? I'm trying to figure out, why would you promote
Big
people
pharma,
looking like
insulin.
this? Yeah, like why would you encourage people to look like to not
be
better
unhealthy.
themselves?
Yeah,
It's body positivity, man. That's what we're all about here.
Yeah,
But-
I don't think the message is to,
give up.
yeah,
give up.
they need
Accept
to.
it. Yeah.
Well, their problem is they believe a positive message is spreading a negative message about something else. If people are doing what they're supposed to be doing and they look good and they feel good, we can't have that because we're ugly as sin on the inside and the outside.
Right.
So we have to find a way to make our ugliness look beautiful and their beauty look ugly.
But here's
Yeah, well, whatever DC's trying to push, remember, obesity is not something to be It's not empowerment. It's unhealthy, and you'll die at an earlier age. So,
that's
eat
my
right,
point.
Exercise.
That's my point, though. I feel like there's something else to this. And it just seems a little weird. And I mean, the whole point of being an American is striving for something that's unattainable. That's why it's called the pursuit of happiness. By
Right.
striving for something that's higher than you can actually ever get, you get close, which means you get a lot better, right?
Right.
So, like, if you want to be Michael Jordan at basketball, you probably never will, but you'll get better at basketball because you're shooting for Michael Jordan. That's the
course.
point. So it's very strange to me that they just throw out that concept and say, don't better yourself, don't improve,
Yeah.
just accept your mediocrity, embrace it, and celebrate it, and feed it.
That's
You
not
know?
okay. Yeah. What's the saying? Shoot for the moon, but if you fail, you'll land amongst the stars. That's
Right.
what you have to do. Not just throw in the towel and go, okay, I won't even get a foot off the ground, because that's what they're doing.
Yeah, well, how can you get a foot off the ground when you weigh 600 pounds? But speaking of
can't.
stars, Carla's in the house. What's up, Carla?
Speaking about 600 pounds,
Hey,
what's
Carla.
up?
No.
What's up, everyone? I'm so sorry. I was napping. I just woke up. I'm a disaster.
You didn't miss much. Just talking about Vinny's chest hair.
Oh,
we got another fan. We got another fan.
nice. I'm listening.
Professor, go on.
Well, I sent him a manscaper, so he can,
Oh, damn.
yeah. Otherwise, he's going to look like this guy right here you see on your screen.
That's right. What are you talking to my
Oh,
sister?
good.
She knows Italians are hairy.
Damn.
Yeah, there's
Look
nothing
out.
wrong with that. You know what I think I'll do? I think I will play the trailer since I effed that up in the beginning. Technically, it was my internet.
Maybe
I'll still claim
blame it on-
responsibility.
You can do it.
I can do it. Tell me, Vinny. I need the positive backup.
Brother, I believe in you. Don't throw in the towel.
I
Don't
need the
read those
outlook.
Don't read the Starfire book.
I am not Starfire. Neither is she. Starfire's not a fat little pig.
Everything changed when war reached the Americas. Caught between the French and the British. My family paid the price. Only my darling Sarah survived. They took her away. We couldn't save them, but we will save her. 5 men against thousands, how can it be done? We are not merely men. War has brought out the beast in us all. And we will have our vengeance, for we are
The War Party.
Yeah, I'd say that was about 6 frames a second.
Nice. That was
As
cool.
opposed to 24. Yeah, but the werewolf transformation, that was an example of some of my hand-drawn animation. But yeah,
That is awesome, man.
thanks.
It was, yeah. Very, very
Good
nice.
stuff. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
gonna be
I believe my spirit animal is a bear. I looked it up.
Well, it's funny. It's funny you mentioned that because I did something interesting with that character. He's pretty devoutly religious, and he doesn't want to he thinks this is a pagan, like devil worship type stuff. So he won't put the pelt on for a while. Like he won't do it. So they have to convince him that he needs to, that it's okay. He's not gonna, he's not condemning his soul to hell or anything like that if he puts on this bear pelt and transforms into the bear. And the reason they need him so badly is because if you ever checked on the strength of a grizzly bear, they're like one of the most powerful animals on the planet. Other than maybe an elephant, or a tiger. So yeah, they need him, but it's he resists for quite a while before before finally giving in and I won't give it away how that happens.
Yeah.
It's some interesting character things that you try to put some conflict in there, so everybody's not just gung ho about this thing. You know what I mean? Like they would all have different views about it.
Oh, of course.
Whether or not they thought it was acceptable to do something like that or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that kind of thought into the story is really cool. I mean, that's how you get better quality books. You don't just do it for the sake of doing it. Think about it. Think about the characters, and I love it, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I always love it when you're writing and the characters, you're not really sure yet who everybody is, but as you start to write, they start to come alive. You start to realize, okay, this person would do this guy would think this way, and this woman would do this. They start to sort of tell you where they're supposed to go, and that's when something's happening.
Yeah, man. Yeah, getting the voice of the character.
More often than not, they tell you who they are.
Stefani Renee, hail, brother.
What's up,
hail, man.
Yeah, talk about a kick butt artist.
Hell
Wow.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, he's got to come on my channel. We talked about it, and then he never messaged me. Buddy, DM me. I'll get you on.
You're being called out.
Being called out, son.
By the Boner King. You better watch yourself.
Yeah, actually, I think his campaign closes soon, doesn't it? Mine closes in 2 days, but I think his closes. Is it like tomorrow or?
Oh, does it?
I think, or I could be wrong. I thought it was closing soon.
Oh, I have no idea. I gotta look.
Unless it's already in demand. I don't know.
Well, either way, if it's in demand, I'll slide him on.
That's a book that needs more love as well. We're kindred spirits. I feel like we're both producing high quality books, but I mean, just going to be straight, I think both of our books deserve a little more attention. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying my best to get the word out there. But it just takes time to build up an audience,
Yeah, build up an audience, like you said yourself, build up the trust so people know who you are.
He has 8 hours, he just said. Yeah, he's got 8 hours. Yeah, so you should have him on this stream.
Yeah, you want to come on this stream? I'll send you a link, brother.
I can help you with the translation, Stefani. Don't be shy. I also want to say hello to the chat. Hello to everybody that's saying hello there. Sorry, but yeah, I can help because I know that Stefani always says he speaks Portuguese, right? We also have Johnny Cage. What the hell? So yeah, right. You're gonna be fine. So you don't have any excuse, Stefani. Just come.
Come on down, like The Price is Right.
He's not going in demand. I'm shocked.
He's not?
No, that's what Johnny Cage said. He's not going in demand.
Oh,
I don't know why.
That's a good question.
I don't know. I'm having a little bit of trouble finding him on the Twitter.
Well, now I got to go back his book. I thought he was because I was waiting, but now I'm going to have to back it. Tonight.
I didn't know.
Yeah. Maybe we could do a crossover, Stefani. Thomas Moira runs into Diane at some point. They team up, the wizard and the witch.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, while I'm checking out Stefani's Twitter, Vinny, why don't you tell us a little bit about Shadow of the Kraken?
Yeah, this is, I was actually looking up the thing too. Never mind. Yeah, this is my pirate book. It's coming pretty soon. I was going to launch it this month, but everyone kept telling me just wait, because I'm going to do it in January. So that's what we're looking at right now. This one's a traditional pirate story. It's set in the 1700s in the Caribbean. You're going to get that brutality. You're going to get, kind of the stuff that we were talking about earlier too. We're thinking more about the characters, the worlds. I've been developing this on and off for like about 3 years to make sure that I had the characters down the way I wanted, the environments they're going to be interacting in, really world building and where the stories are going with each of the characters. So to me, it's really important to get those elements down. But yeah, this is going to be a fun journey for sure. Like I said, I'm not giving too much info out yet on it because, when it's time to actually launch the campaign, you guys are going to hear kind of all about it. But yeah, if you sign up now, you're going to get a free mini print. It's upon your first purchase when we are live. You're going to want to make sure that you get the notification. So sign up because I'm going to have some limited perks. Things are going to be numbered, some of them. So if you want to make sure to get that right away, yes, you're not going to want to miss that launch. The 24-hour thing or the first week is usually the most crucial for these campaigns. So make sure you jump in there so you don't miss anything at all. But yeah,
sure. And every time you sign up for these mailing lists, make sure you confirm that email. And you go send you an email that you have to confirm.
That's right.
I don't know why it's that way, but it's that way. So just make sure.
It's another topic that doesn't get a lot of coverage. It's the whole pirates. I mean, I love it. This is.
Thanks, man.
Like you don't really. There aren't a lot of pirate things out there, honestly. Other than I know some TV shows, but not in comics. You don't really see pirate stories that much.
Exactly.
So I love the whole historical thing. Of course, as you know, but.
Yeah, man.
Great, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? You could tell these stories. I mean, there's so many different pirates and stuff that throughout all those years. But at the same time, like I'm trying to tell my own original story. We might get interactions with others, as the series goes. But yeah, this is going to be right now. It's 50 pages. If we hit stretch goals, obviously we'll add some more pages. But right now we're looking at 50 pages for this one.
Are you gonna? Sorry, go ahead. I didn't interrupt. I was just going to ask a question.
No, I was going to say, and every page is going to be this level of detail. I mean, all the artwork is going to be above and beyond. I have half the book is already completed. So
So all your backgrounds, you're going to paint them like we see here, like the backgrounds are going to be not line art, but actual paintings like that.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean,
that's awesome.
My other books are the same way. So like Through the Woods, cool. City of Venus. I want to make sure that people are really immersed into these worlds, and because I've seen a lot of beautiful painted covers all over the place, but every time you open up the book, it's like, well, how come the interior doesn't look like this on any level? So with how I've been telling my stories and what I've been doing, I want to make sure that they're going to get that. What you see in the covers, you're going to get on the interior as well. So highest quality, because that's what people deserve. At least the people who've been backing my projects. I want to make sure that they're extra happy when they get these. And yeah, it's going to be killer.
I think I'm on your mailing list, but I'm going to go back and check because I thought I had clicked on it on a previous stream that I saw you on, but I want to make sure I'm on there.
Cool, man.
That's a book I would back.
Maybe. There we go.
Cool, man.
Yeah, man. So get on that mailing list for sure. I'm gonna add there's links to the description when we're finished up here. Yeah, right now I just have War Party in there, but yeah, we're gonna add Shadow the Kraken and also Witch Hunter. Carla, if you would be interested in letting these fun people know all about your campaign, which crossed 5,000. You're approaching 5,500 as we speak. I'm just going to share the audio because we'll play that trailer in a bit.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I'm very interested. Yes, I'm just very sleepy. But yeah, everybody, this is Witch Hunter. We extended a couple days ago for the second part of this campaign. We're doing great. We're very, very excited. And I want to say thank you so much to everybody who has backed so far. As you all know, you have 2 different covers with 2 different endings. So it's like having 2 different books. And one of them is done by my very, very hairy chested brother. And the other one made by me, not that hairy, but I hope it can fulfill your expectations, people. So, so yeah, if you haven't backed this book yet, definitely do. We're sold out in the book, so you're all very screwed if you were planning to be in the book. But I'm gonna be presenting some new interesting stuff. I'm working on a lot of stuff, believe it or not. You're gonna be like, nah, Carla is napping all day. She's not doing anything. No, I am. Just that since very, very early in the day. Okay, that's the thing, right? Right.
Of course.
They know you're having a baby, so you need your rest. They know that.
Never disagree with a pregnant woman.
Right?
Amen.
So yeah, guys, like if you haven't checked this out, please do. I'm not streaming as much as I should be doing because, of course, I need my. That's pretty much how it sounds, but but yeah, if you share and retweet and help us like spread the word, we're gonna be very, very thankful with you guys. And yeah, basically that's pretty much it. And be ready for some cool updates though. Tomorrow I'm gonna be drawing some cool stuff in my channel at 11 EST if you guys are interested in that.
Oh, man, well, Sketch wants to know when the baby's due.
What's up, Sketch? I was seeing like some Latin flavor there in the chat, and I was like, oh, I'm excited. Somebody speaking my language. It's due to Christmas Day. Although I wish she was born sooner because I swear my belly is so heavy. I'm done with it. Just
ready.
Get out of here. There's no space for the 2 of us here.
You're getting evicted. David.
Yeah, they notice.
Right?
Oh, man. She's like, this turkey is done. Get it out.
Right? Again with the turkey stuff, damn.
Yeah, I think she feels like the turkey right now.
Yeah, sorry.
I do. I kind of do, and it's not very nice. But what is nice is this cover. Look at this shit. I'm so proud of it.
Not bad.
See, that's smooth.
I mean, it's okay. It's okay.
I don't know who told that guy he could draw.
It's crazy.
Right?
I don't know. All I heard, they kept saying tits. We want tits. Okay.
Of course.
There's a lot of phallic things going on with that sword and pistol there, man.
Well, that's their art direction, husband and wife. That's who I painted.
You have everything you need in here. Absolutely, guys.
Yeah, if there wasn't that mindset involved, there probably wouldn't be a baby coming.
Very true.
Pretty much.
We'll play your trailer quickly. Yeah, Stephanie, or Stephanie, I'm not sure which. Yeah, you got the link, brother. If you want to come in, feel free. But yeah, we're just gonna play a little here. I don't know why every single volume is different on each one of these YouTube videos. Shouldn't it stay the same? Anyway.
I don't know.
renowned witch hunter Alden is faced with the most dangerous quest of his life when a powerful witch emerges to threaten Grimsby. With the fate of his people hanging in the balance, Alden must unite with an unlikely ally to free Grimsby from the claws of evil. Don't miss this masterful tale from White Cat Comics.
Witch Hunter.
So yeah, back at today. It's available right now. We got 26 days left.
I like the watercolor kind of the coloring. It almost looks like watercolor or markers.
Oh yeah, thank
Really
you very
nice.
much. Wait, yeah, that's because Javi is making like the washed inks.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
what. It's got a wash kind of feel to it that you really don't see that often in comics coloring. Really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, and on top of that, like I colored, like trying to make that being noticeable. So yeah, thank you.
It's very nice.
It's been
Yeah,
noticed.
she did. Yeah, it's a beautiful team. You know, Javi and Carla, they've been crushing it on this book. I can't wait for it.
Thank you, brother.
All these great
You're welcome.
books. It's just crazy. You know.
But and that's a good thing. Like I said, man,
Yeah.
we have tons of talent here, tons of great projects coming. Like I said, really great people in the chat. So yeah, hail everybody. And yeah, Sketch, that was the pirate book is my new one, by the way. I saw your message just a second ago. But yeah,
Yeah,
we're
that'll
gonna
be coming out very soon.
Sketch is in a good mood tonight, though.
That's
I've been
good,
in
yeah.
some streams where Sketch has not been in a very good mood.
Well, good. I'm glad. Maybe
Yeah,
he's
you
still
see-
got that
yeah,
Thanksgiving glow. You know, the
Yeah,
stuffing.
you don't want Sketch when he's mad.
But yeah, man, before Johnny Cage gives me hell, I'm just going to promote Sunsworn one time. This is in demand. It's going to be shipping and fulfilling very, very soon. December 7th is the date they gave me, or sooner. So we got about a week or so, and books are going to start getting shipped out. In case you're not aware, this is a novel, a prose novel. It came out to about 530 pages of just epic space fantasy story. You have the option to get a visual companion along with it. Of course, we have Vinny on the cover of the novel, which came out beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
You're going to be stunned when you see this because it looks sweet as hell. And same with the visual companion. Carlos did the cover on that very kindly and very, very skillfully. Yeah, all these things came out really, really good. And yeah, this is something I'm really proud of, and I can't wait to get it to you guys. Carla and I are currently working on the next Unsworn campaign, which is going to be a graphic novel. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm toying around with some other ideas to add to it. So yeah, stay
See,
tuned.
guys, I'm working.
Yes, Carla's working very hard. And I do like to crack the whip. But yeah, tell you what, man, you want to give us one more go at War Party, let people know why they should back this, why they should get into it, maybe what's coming in the future. And yeah, we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, well, this is going to be the only mini series. Any offshoots I do will be, one-shot sort of graphic novels. They won't be quite this long. So this is the sort of the launching of the whole story. But I'm really excited about where I'm going to take the character, especially Diane, her character. There's a little hint, a little epilogue in the last issue where you see where she ends up, where the next the follow-up story is going to be. But yeah, if you like good adventure stories, if you like basically kidnapping stories. The guy's trying to get his daughter back. That's as good a motive as any, right, for a character to save their child. Any parent would relate to that in a heartbeat. If you want great art, which I try to give you great art, the best art I can, what you see on the cover is what you're going to get on the inside. There's there's no I didn't hire another artist and then get somebody else to do the internal work. I'm doing it all myself. Throw myself in every panel and try to, make it as high quality as possible. Just give you a great story. So that's all I can do, right?
Yep.
Absolutely.
But you don't have to like American history to be in it. You don't have to be into the colonial period to be into it. I try to make the characters relatable to a modern day reader, even though it's taking place in the 1750s. So I don't want that to scare anybody off. Be like, well, I'm not really interested in historical stuff. It's a fantasy adventure action epic more than it is a history, a historical piece. It just happens to take place in the past. So what Sketch say?
The cool stuff. The cool stuff.
If you stay away from a certain topic, yeah. I figured out which topics to stay away from, Sketch, when you're in the chat. Not that I've ever brought them up, but
listen, I've seen Sketch be very delightful.
Yes.
I've also seen him lose his cool a bit, but it's all good, man. It's all good.
Yeah.
I think it's called being human.
Yeah, he keeps everybody honest. He's about being real. So we need Sketches in our life. But I mean, it's gonna be an adventurous epic, a little bit of horror, a little bit of fantasy, a little bit of
ass,
a little bit of junk in
we
the
like
trunk.
That.
She's a beautiful full-figured woman. That's how a full-figured woman looks, by the way.
Yes.
Whatever they're calling full figure today that's not a full figure.
Yeah, the ones that they're calling full figured are it's just one shape, and that's
morbidly obese, right?
Right.
No, but and that's accurate, by the way. Algonquin women were that's the way they dressed. So I'm staying true to history, and the European men were very appreciative of it when they saw it.
I can imagine.
So back War Party, support us if you can, and I'm going to give you a great adventure. I promise you that. You will not be disappointed. Because I hope you like the art, but let me tell you, one thing we can't sell on a campaign is the story, because you don't know until you read it if the story is any good. There's no way to really tell a customer this is going to be a good read. So that's really where the faith comes into play. Is it a good read? And I've been writing for years. To me, story is first, even though art's important. The story has to grab you, or you've got nothing. So, if there's any hesitation, or well, how's the writing? I'm putting just as much into the writing as I am the art. So,
hell yeah, that's what we got to do. Just put out our best work possible. I'm sorry, Rick. What was that?
No, for sure. Just agreeing with you, man. That's absolutely right. Put out your best work. Put your best foot forward. Be respectful to people. Basically, the only two rules are do what you promise. Don't be an asshole. That's it. That's all you got to do, and then you're good to go.
Deliver. Yeah.
If you can
over-deliver.
If you can provide some nice ass, that's even better.
Yeah, ass is always appreciated.
Yes. Yeah. My leading ladies will always be beautiful.
There you go.
Awesome, dude. I can't wait for you guys to see what I'm going to be doing when my characters get to Nassau and you see the taverns and the whores.
Oh, the Bahamas.
It's gonna have class to it, like all my work.
Classy whoas.
Classy whoas. They got their pinkies up.
Nothing better than a classy hua.
The 1700s were great.
Oh yeah, man. Lots of fun stuff.
Hell yeah! But thanks everybody for coming out. Thanks for being in the chat, for participating, for backing these projects, just for being supportive all the time. If you can't afford to back these projects, or it's just something you're maybe not that interested in, the share does wonders. So yeah, thanks again for everything you guys do. The chat, the backers make these projects possible. You're making dreams come true. So thank you guys. Check out these awesome projects. I'm going to put all the links in the description when we're done here. And yeah, man, we will catch you on the next one. What do you think, Vinny?
Yeah,
gets the last word.
Definitely, man. Oh, and go jump on my YouTube channel as well, Vinny Art. I'm going to be more active on there again. And check out the Thanksgiving stream if you missed it. It's me giving thanks to all you great guys and girls out there.
Definitely.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.